not the Jenna interview. I'm going back at you. The next question I wanted to ask you is actually around triggers. Totally different topic here. So do you have any triggers? And so, do you have any coping mechanisms on how you get through them, that are helpful for you and that could potentially be helpful for someone else?
Well, for me, one trigger was going out. So restaurants, and with COVID, it was kind of like pretty easy. But now going out, and I just had the same thing happen last week. We're going out with friends, and I want to have what's called not my drink, NMD. And so I went in with the idea, I'm going to prepare myself. And I brought a tea bag. And I've used this strategy probably a half dozen times already, where when the server comes and they ask for, when you want water or a cocktail or something, I just ask for hot water right off the bat. And when they come back, I'm making my tea. And it's just this thing of I'm doing something. And it has been really great. But I was even having like a trigger of like ice cubes, like clinking in the house, as if because we have adults here and they can have an NMD. And I kept asking myself, what in the world, why is this bothering me? Because I didn't have the drinks before. Why would it bother me now? And I would get even frustrated, angry, anything. And I've kept on asking myself, why is this? What is the matter? Why am I having this trigger? And it actually came to me just a few days ago. And I think partly because I have been, here's the mind part of people who I've interviewed, like Laura Lively and Robin Roode, and people who know things about parts work, where you have parts in you that are trying to protect you. And I remembered a time in my life, and I'll tell you very quickly, it was wintertime. I was a little girl. I don't think I was more than 12 years old. And I went with several cousins to watch a play. It was in a school auditorium. And it was Christmas time, very, very busy time. My mom and aunts dropped us off. So many people, I just still remember, so many kids in the hallway to go see this play. And we get into we're in the vestibule, we go into where the actual play is, and they stop me. And they're like, we're at capacity. You can't go in. Now, mind you, my cousins all went in, and my mom and my aunts were gone. And so the rest of the kids, apparently their parents were there because they were all gone too. So for the next first act, I'm walking this school totally alone. I am hearing the laughter. I'm going up to the door. I'm hearing the laughter. I'm hearing the clapping. They come out for refreshments. They go back in. They're laughing and clapping. And I realize this fear of missing out is not just about food or anything. It's an emotion of like, you want to be part of the action. And, like in that particular case, there was no second act. There was no second play that I could go to. I never saw it. Nobody said anything other than I'm like, I didn't get to see it. So I really missed out. So it was like a PTSD kind of thing. And I finally experienced, by understanding about a little tiny bit about parts work, allowing myself to go deeper and deeper and ask myself, what is bringing that up? Why is this intense feeling? Well, FOMO is a real thing.
Well, it's a very real thing in your perspective. It's in your world because of this particular experience that you had. And listening to the story you're sharing, I'm thinking, what a powerful question for you to ask yourself. Why am I feeling this way, and allowing yourself to revisit a different time in your life? Because You are so right that we do have these parts that do try to protect us because they remember how painful it was.
Right.
They remember how some of these experiences were and literally close them off. And it really creates almost an amnesia effect.
Yeah.
You really, like, here you are, you know, in your level 6 in your life, and you're just remembering this story after 50 years.
Yeah.
You know, that your inner self has just completely hidden away from you, that it was not ready to come up and to be discovered and to be discussed. And so the invitation to everybody really is, at those hard times, in those struggles where the trigger is coming up, it's what powerful question can we ask ourselves to really get to the root of what it is? Because at the end of the day, it's just food, right?
Right.
So what is the emotion behind it that is making it feel so awful or just so painful? You know, what is it behind that? And if we allow ourselves to go there, as you did, it's such a discovery, and it brings an opportunity for healing, and it brings an opportunity to really, you know, grow and evolve and heal from that so that you can continue moving forward. Doesn't mean you won't be sad ever thinking about it, but you can allow yourself to move forward.
Right. And, you know, I'm so glad that it did finally come up, because I had squashed it away. But it has a lot of tentacles on different things, blame and shame and, you know, keeping quiet about an injustice at that time, you know, and not wanting to hurt anybody by bringing it up and things like that. So, yeah, and it came out in the food. It came out in the drink. It came out in little ice cubes, the sound of like, I'm going to miss out on something. And it's like, no, it's like, what is going on in the brain?